everybody. Zach here. MetaZone. The YouTube channel dedicated to that strange sound your car keeps making. It's time to get it checked. So today I'm going to talk about a friend of mine who is very supportive of the YouTube channel, but he has an issue with the financial aspect of the cards. For example, there's a $10,000 Kickstarter PSA 10 Mothman on the market right now. That is the going rate for that card. For a piece of cardboard, wrapped in plastic, molded in plastic, with the number 10 at the top. $10,000. We could tell people the 10 at the top stands for $10,000. The public would be none the wiser. So to help understand this a bit better, I'm going to do a little bit of financial literacy. For instance, we have assets which make you money. An example of this is you buy a house outright. Let's say it appreciates in value. You fix it up, you rehab it, appreciates in value. That's nice. But you decide to take it a step further and fix it up a bit more. Maybe install 6 to 7 dishwashers and 10 to 20 washing machines, dryers, things of that nature. And then you rent it out to all of your stepsisters. Now, all this rental income that's coming in, it's pure profit, aside from paying for something like taxes and the insurance. So you subtract that for sure. But you're making a huge profit. That's a lot of people to be renting to for one house. So you're making a profit, the house appreciates, you own it outright. This is a huge asset, making you money every month. And then when you go to sell it, you're gonna have a huge payday. Win. Liabilities. These are things that are like debts. For example, these stepsisters that you're renting your house out to, they decide to turn around and collectively take credit cards out in your name and spending money on all their e-girl stuff. That's a debt. That's a liability. You're paying somebody else money for something that doesn't really bring you value. I mean, it has value, but it doesn't really bring you value, making somebody happy, but you're not happy. I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, another example of liability is a mortgage, because a mortgage is a specialized type of debt that is used to buy a house. But there's a catch to it. There's a little trick you can do with mortgages. You put 20% down on a house. The bank then gives you the house. You rent it out to said stepsisters, and you end up making a profit every month, even though you owe on the house. This is an example of taking a liability and turning it into an asset. After your 30-year mortgage is over, you're still renting it out to these same stepsisters. They're paying you money every month. You're making a profit every month. You no longer have the debt. Therefore, you no longer have the liability. So you've taken this liability and leveraged it into an asset. That is a great example of how you can continually make money and build wealth. So you have this vicious cycle of stepsister, dishwasher, house, money, profit, more money. So where does it all end? Meaning you have this immortality of money. So where does your money go to die? Well, you're making all this money off this profit from this house, and you turn around, you say, well, I'm not going to cook tonight and have McDonald's. Okay, well, it's a little bit more expensive than the meals you make at home, but that's okay. It's just one time. So after 30 years of eating McDonald's every day for every meal, you end up with a medical condition. Let's call it, I don't know, I'll just make something up on top of my head, diabetes. And you end up with diabetes. And because you have diabetes, you have to manage this diabetes because you poorly managed your diet. Now you have diabetes. Anyways, you have diabetes, and now you have to give yourself insulin every day just to manage the diabetes. But you're still eating the McDonald's, which is more expensive than eating at home and less healthy too. And now you have diabetes, which you have to manage with insulin. And you have to go see doctors and doctor's appointments. That comes with a whole slew of issues. It's a chronic illness. It's a terrible thing. That's where your money goes to die. The McDonald's, it's quick, it's easy, it's cheap. It adds some sort of value to your life. But the reality is that that's where your money goes to die. It's not going to serve you in the end. Diabetes, insulin, medicine. Medicine is where your money goes to die. When you end up with a chronic illness, it's a really tough thing to deal with. So what you do is you end up spending this money on this medicine to help manage that chronic illness. Medicine is where your money goes to die. Although, let's be honest, the medicine is much more valuable than the McDonald's, right? It adds so much more value to your life. It's worth it. You want your money to die in medicine. Capiche? Okay. Want your money to die in medicine. So where else does your money die? Well, it dies in things like expensive and fancy sports cars. You don't need it, but it's really cool. It's fun. It makes a lot of noise. A lot better than that clunking noise that your old car was making. So my buddy basically came to the conclusion that this is where your money goes to die. Given the previous market trends of things like Magic the Gathering, what's that called? Pokemon? Pokemon. I think that's how you pronounce it. Pokemon. Yeah, market trends in that. And with the popularity and rise of this, the NFTs, they're going to Walmart. I don't know. Or do I? This thing is not where your money goes to die. Your money dies in debts and lives in assets. But this, ladies and gentlemen, this is an asset. Take it easy.